Well, good afternoon. My name is Juliet. I work for Global Human Rights Defense, and we organize the Women's March that is going on here today. Behind me you see the marchers getting ready for today. We are here at the Grote Kerk, and we're going to walk a certain way through the city now. We're going from Grote Kerk to the Pakistan Embassy, and then to the Dutch Parliament, where we will be handing out petitions in relation to International Women's Day. Because International Women's Day, we have this march in relation to forced conversions and forced marriages in Pakistan, and we want to tell the government that they should enforce laws that protect women from such forced conversions and persecutions, and that's what we march for today. So yes, we'll follow the march and. Je moet er even aan wennen, om een soort van door te praten.
Maar op zich hoef je ook geen, dat doet geen super lang, als het gewoon duidelijk is.
Precies, ja.
Hey, was dat?
Laat hem maar aanstaan.
Oké, super. Zal ik misschien zo over een paar minuten nog een keer een korte introductie geven?
Ja, doe het maar ja.
Ja.
De mensen die net zijn.
Ja.
Daar vooraan staan, dan kan iedereen even lekker langs lopen.
Precies. Ja, goed. So what we see here today is our Women's Rights March, and this. And this is in relation to International Women's Day, which takes place tomorrow, the 8th of March. Unfortunately, the equality we have here in the Netherlands, we do not enjoy everywhere in the world. And that's what we march for today, because we think and believe that everyone should be equal and be treated equally and have the same chances. And what we see now is that in Pakistan there is currently a lot of discriminations against religious minorities. So today we march for these people to march for these people to make sure that their rights are also ensured in other places in the world, and especially in Pakistan.
Minderheid is het waar het hier over gaat?
I don't speak
So I like to know which religious minority. All.
वो कर रहे हैं यार आप बस के आदमी करेंगे
Okay, I'll say we need and you'll say women rights. We need
women rights women rights
Women rights.
women rights बोलिए हो
no to forced conversion. No to
forced conversion forced conversion forced conversion
we need
women rights
Oh, wow. Netjes, dankjewel.
Zal ik hem vasthouden? Even
Ja,
anders?
is het-
Ja.
Ja, als je het niet weet.
women need protection women need protection
Waar gaan we nu heen?
Here. So we walk among the palace gardens right now, and that's the King's Palace that is actually there. It's also located in The Hague. So this is other interesting thing about The Hague as a location is that we not only walk here and give our petition to the embassy as well as the parliament, but also go among the royal gardens right here, which makes an interesting day to actually give this petition in The Hague right here.
women rights.
women rights
No to
forced conversion
no to
forced conversion
no to
forced conversion
Say no to forced conversion. Say no to. Say no to. Say no to. Say no to. Say no to platform. Say no to.
Better Dutch or English, understand? We are in Holland. Yes.
ਉਹ ਨਾਰੇ ਮਾਰੋ ਫੋਰਸ ਕਨਵਰਸ਼ਨ ਉਹ ਨਾਰੇ ਮਾਰੋ ਨੇ ਨਾਰੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਕਿ ਨਾਰੇ ਮਾਰੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਇਬਾਦਤ ਕਰਾਣੀ
So what you initially see is that a paper say no to blasphemy law, and blasphemy law means that you are being persecuted for not adhering the same religion as anyone else. So this means you can be put on death row, for example, or you are imprisoned for life if you say something bad about another religion. And this is widely practiced in Pakistan, actually. Which causes many religious minority to even become smaller because they are effectively wiped out in these countries.
Forced conversion. No to. Forced conversion. No to.
So we're going to the Pakistan embassy right now, and maybe I can give a small introduction of what embassies are about. Embassies are the representation of one country in another, and it's also used to exchange some like culture and religion, for example, or like facts, and it's like a point where people can go to in order to learn more about a country. And the embassy is led by the ambassador, and an ambassador is initially someone that belongs to the government that is in place. So if we go to the Pakistan embassy and we talk to the Pakistan ambassador, he's initially someone that belongs to the Pakistani government. So these people actually giving their petition to this person is actually directly talking to the Pakistan government, what we of course want to do, because we want for them to change the laws that are currently in place.
Minorities demand equality.
Het is nog wel een stukje om.
Ja, dankjewel.
Say no to. Equal rights. Equal rights.
Ja,
Net een beetje te snel.
gaat het snel?
Net iets te eng, maar ga bij de plaats waar de straat. En nu
Ja.
hier maar hier straks.
Nee, precies.
Straks. Dat komen. Nou, net een rustig op. Ben je maar echt laten, weet je?
Ja, bij de laatste. Ja, precies. Ja. We moeten daar sowieso
Aanbieden toch? Aanbellen. Wie gaat dat doen?
We gaan hier,
Ja, hierop.
ja, dan gaan we hier even over dit stuk.
Say no to. Say no to. Say no to.
Last one belongs.
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 Say no to. Niemand. Say no to. Say no to. Say Baba.
Laws हैं जो बनाए गए
Daughters. Daughters.
En nu nog even voor de mensen in het Nederlands. We zijn hier vandaag in Den Haag en we houden een wandelmars voor de rechten van de vrouw. En voornamelijk voor de rechten van de vrouw in Pakistan. En dit in relatie tot Internationale Vrouwendag, wat morgen plaatsvindt. Wat we zien is dat in Pakistan mensen van religieuze minderheden veel minder rechten hebben dan mensen van de meerderheid. En vandaag lopen een heel aantal wandelaars voor de rechten van de vrouwen in Pakistan. Dat is wat er vandaag gebeurt. We zijn nu onderweg naar de Pakistanse ambassade. En daar wordt straks een petitie aangeboden. En daarna zullen we doorgaan naar het plein. Dat is de achterkant van het Nederlands parlement. Waar we in gesprek zullen gaan over wat de Nederlandse overheid en de Europese, maar ook de Verenigde Naties hieraan kunnen doen.
Ja, dat is wel leuk. Kijk, ja, als je stil staat, is het makkelijk.
Ja, precies.
We want peace. We want peace. We want peace.
Mag ik u wat vragen? Waarom loopt u mee vandaag?
Waarom ik meeloop? Nou, ten eerste ben ik al kijken hoe ze het allemaal georganiseerd wordt. Ik ben als keer meegelopen met een ander mars. Zo'n Marokkanen was dat ja. Wel Nederlanders. Ja, Nederlands-Marokkaans, ja.
En kunt u mij vertellen waarom u het heel erg belangrijk vindt dat er zelfde rechten voor vrouwen zijn als voor mannen in Pakistan?
Ja, dat spreekt vanzelf voor mij. Dus je begrijpt wat ik kan wel in details gaan treden.
Iedereen is gelijk.
Belachelijk, ja. Ik vind het gewoon...
Dus het is goed dat we dit vandaag doen.
Ja, maar...
Het is gewoon belangrijk dat het gebeurt.
Ja, je kan het allemaal wel gaan doen, maar er moet ook wel wat uithalen. Ja. Ik heb zo'n gevoel, bij dat soort landen is trend zonder end. Ja, dat zeg ik gewoon eerlijk hoor. Ja. Weet je, helpt dit dat geblair en dat gedoe. En soms denk ik dan van, waarom, vaak hoor, dan denk ik van ja, waarom doen Nederlanders die lopen dan over dit of over dat, zijn ze niet mee eens en ontevreden. Dan wordt er ook gezegd onder Nederland zelf van we moeten gewoon bij elkaar komen. En dan...
De overheid laten zien dat er met een hele grote groep mensen zijn die dit belangrijk vinden. Ja.
Zit hier in Nederland?
Ja. En wij genieten van deze rechten.
Aan je hoeft
Nee.
Ja,
Ja.
ik ben zelf wel van 4 culturen hoor.
Ja.
Maar ik ben gewoon mezelf en dan zeggen ze van ja, doe je dat
Nou.
voor om... Ja, ik heb die programma heb ik gekregen van Henna, dus een bekende.
Ja.
En dat mishandeling en verkrachtingen, dat gaat toch sowieso niet. En dan nog eens een keer dat ze dan gedwongen wordt om islamreligie te krijgen. Ja?
Ja.
Nou, ik zeg het ook maar gewoon in mijn woorden. Ze willen de hele wereld wel islam maken.
Oké, nou veel succes vandaag nog met de wandeling.
Dankjewel. Graag gedaan. Maar word ik nou uitgezonden?
Live, ja.
Mooi, zo mooi. Heel diepgaand. Weer.
Ja. We hebben net te horen gekregen dat we niet langs de Pakistaanse ambassade mogen. Daarom lopen we nu rechtdoor. Dus de petitie kan helaas niet aan hun aangeboden worden. Dat betekent dat we hem...
Ja. Wie gaat met haar? We hebben niks om daar aan. Ja,
Hier is de petitie.
Parlement of embassy? Parlement.
Hij zit hierin, maar helaas kunnen we hem vandaag niet aanbieden aan de Pakistaanse ambassade. Dus we nemen hem mee door naar het Nederlands parlement, waar die daarna wordt aangeboden. Ik denk dat we de Parkstraat hebben aangegeven. They're both the same, so.
There was no life because we were not alive. Hier is de journalist. Waarom de Pakistanse
Forced conversions. Say no to. Say no to. Wait, say no to. Say no to.
Stel dat we niet aan mogen gaan, heeft maar regels. Vrijdag maandag alsnog gaan. Alsnog open te drukken, daar in de samen en aanbieden.
Oké,
En dan mag de media gewoon dat opmaken, gewoon daar blijven.
oké. Ik denk sowieso niet dat
Nee, dat is niet mogelijk.
het is niet opgenomen in het...
Nee, dat hoor ik net. We kunnen alsnog met 4 man gewoon zonder de groep gaan.
Ja.
Aanbieden.
Oké, ja.
Snap je het?
Ja. het plan is om nu alsnog met een paar mensen de petitie aan te bieden aan de Pakistaanse ambassade. Maar ze zijn nu in overleg met politie, maar of dat echt mag, dat is natuurlijk de vraag. Yes. So we just heard that we are not allowed to give the petition and the human rights report to the Pakistan embassy. And so that's why we're trying to arrange with the police right now that we can actually still deliver it, but with a smaller group of people. At the meantime, we almost arrived at Lange Voorhout. This is one of the most famous streets in The Hague. And that leads to het plein, where we will be delivering the petition to the Dutch Parliament. So it has been decided we're actually not handing the petition to the Pakistani parliament. They're just going to send it to them because we're not allowed to go to the embassy. You have to realize that these embassies are, of course, all here in this country in one city, and it's politically very sensitive area to go to. So this is one of the reasons we cannot go there today.
Nu hebben we ook een beetje ruimte.
Ja, precies. Hallo, goedemiddag Henna. Goed jou te zien. Hoe gaat het in het protest vandaag? Hoe gaat het in de Vrouwenrechtenmars vandaag?
Het gaat heel goed, heel ordelijk. En ik vind het heel fijn dat mensen toch het weer getrosseerd hebben om hier te komen.
En kunt u in 3 korte zinnen aan mij vertellen waarom u vandaag bent gekomen en waarom u meedoet?
Waarom ik meedoe is, ik wil vrouwenrechten, bescherming van jonge meisjes die de toekomst hebben.
Ja, dat klinkt goed.
En daar gaan we voor. Voor onze vrouwen en jonge meisjes.
En dat in relatie tot Internationale Vrouwendag wat morgen plaatsvindt.
Ja, morgen is de afsluiting van de Internationale Vrouwendag. En het is heel fijn om deze boodschap mee te geven dat alle vrouwen beschermd moeten worden, gelijkwaardigheid. En dat vrouwen ook in hogere posities komen en vooral de laagopgeleiden heel snel aan de baan kunnen komen en uit de bijstand.
Super, heel erg bedankt. Succes vandaag. we see is that since Pakistan was formed in 1947, 24% 24% of the entire civilization was actually a religious minority, so that is 1/4 of the entire community. And now, today in 2017, this was measured again, and this was only 3.7% of the entire community. So what we see is that in 70 years, there's a huge decrease in the amount of different religions that exist in this country. That's true though.
Say no to blasphemy law. 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 Say no to Say no to Say no to Say no to Chico. Say no to. 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 Say no to.
So we're almost at the end of the Lange Voorhout, and we're getting closer and closer to the Dutch Parliament. Later on, the marchers will split into smaller groups. One of the groups will go back to Grote Kerk, where we started this march, and the other group will go to het plein, it's the square, And this is the back door of the, let's say, the Dutch Parliament, and we'll be handing out our petition here. This is especially an interesting activity as the Dutch Parliament represents the Dutch civilians, and we are with a fair amount of Dutch civilians right here. So demanding certain rights at the Parliament is a perfect place to do it and to make them aware of what is currently happening in Pakistan, in order for them to be able to actively point to the EU and the United Nations as well, in order to tell Pakistan what their responsibilities are towards the inalienable right to religion.
Ja, precies. Ja, die was wel... Ja, precies. Ja, precies. Dat is goed. Oh, ja, ja, vooraan. Ja, precies. Dat is heel belangrijk.
Anya, can you come here for a bit? Can you tell me, how's it going?
Well, I think it's going okay. Everyone seems quite active, so...
So, can you tell me a bit about what we're walking for today?
Well, as it's Women's Rights Day tomorrow, we're walking mainly for women's rights in South Asia. We're especially focusing on the issues with minority communities in Pakistan, but also Bangladesh and Nepal. Plenty of women don't get access to what they need. And minority religious communities especially are often pressured and they lack the accessibility to what they're basically their fundamental human rights.
Yeah, so it's a very important issue we march for today.
It's a very important issue. It's one that we're privileged enough to not have to deal with in Western Europe, but I think one that South Asia, there definitely needs to be more focus.
So you're marching for those people who can't?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well done you. Good luck today.
Yeah.
Prime Minister, can I tell it to you?
Sorry?
I want to record one message for the Prime Minister. Can I record to you? Why can I?
Henna. En wie zei dat ze... Zij heeft een eigen stichting voor vrouwenrechten en misschien, ik heb er ook al geïnformeerd. Ja, precies. Ja. Een korte uitleg in het Nederlands. We zijn hier nu bijna bij het Nederlands parlement. Hier zijn we om een mensenrechtenrapport en een petitie in te leveren. En dat doen we met niet alleen al de mensen achter ons, maar er is ook een petitie getekend. Van ongeveer 2500 mensen hebben deze petitie getekend. En in deze petitie is er aandacht gevraagd. Wordt er gevraagd of de Europese Unie, de Nederlandse overheid en de Verenigde Naties aandacht wil besteden aan de religieuze bekeringen, geforceerd huwelijk, maar ook verkrachtingen die momenteel plaatsvinden in Pakistan. En dat vooral in relatie tot Internationale Vrouwendag, wat morgen plaatsvindt. Dat zal hier straks gebeuren over 5 minuten.
have all gathered here to support the women's rights, and especially the rights for minority women in Pakistan. Pakistan is suffering, especially the minorities, the Christian minorities, the Hindu minorities. They are suffering a lot at the hands of the majority community in Pakistan. Young girls are kidnapped at the age of 13, 14, and overnight they are converted to the Muslim religion, and they are not being allowed to meet with their parents. They are not allowed to meet anyone, even they don't have any lawyer or any facility they can get in touch with their family. And they say that since these young girls have converted, now they can no longer be with the minority community. There are a lot of people who are now really at the mercy of the hands of the majority community in Pakistan. And we all are gathered here. I've come from London to support the women cause, especially the women persecution in Pakistan. The women are persecuted in various ways. There are especially the Christian community and the minorities are never given good jobs, so they go to homes to work, and then they are forced to prostitution or very what you can say behavior which is I cannot even speak of, and they are forcefully taken into prostitution and other things. So this is where we in Pakistan, the minorities in Pakistan feel very, very insecure, and we people who have gathered here in The Hague today, we want justice for the minorities in Pakistan. We want justice for all those who are suffering in Pakistan, especially the minorities, and we also want the blasphemy laws, which are one of the main cause of persecution in Pakistan, to be changed, because under the guise of these blasphemy laws, these personal scores are being settled, and many towns like Gojra, like Sangla Hill, like in Lahore, like in many other places, the whole colonies are being burnt. People are burnt alive. The Christian minorities are burnt alive. And in the days to come, there is a report that till to 2030 or 2040, they want to eliminate the minorities, the Christians from Pakistan. The 1998 census in Pakistan, the minorities ratio was shown very low at 4 billion, but now last year's census, 2 years back when the census were held, now the minorities, the census says that they are only 3 million. Now my question is, where the 1 million minorities have gone? Whereas the majority community, their population has grown from 150 million to 210 million. The Christian minorities has gone down. Why it is so? Where has these people gone? So today we have come here to demand justice for the minorities in Pakistan. We want that they should be given equal rights, and we want that the persecution being done in various ways. Not even they are burnt, or they are kidnapped, or they are killed. There are so many injustices being done to this community, the Christians and the Hindus in Pakistan, and we all here today are gathered to demand justice for the Christians in Pakistan, for the minorities in Pakistan. We are not against the state of Pakistan. We are Pakistanis, and we want to honor our country, but we also want that our people should be honored as well. They should be given the equal status which every Pakistani, and the Constitution of Pakistan, which really that the Constitution gives us a right to be equal citizens. But those rights have never ever been given to the Christians in Pakistan. And we, the Christians, were the people who were instrumental in making Pakistan, because of the vote of the Christian, the majority province, which constitutes 70% of Pakistan, the Punjab province, the Christian vote, because of the Christian vote in 1947, that land Punjab became Pakistan, and now the same Pakistan is now no place to live. So we demand the government of Pakistan to give equal status, to give equal rights, and to protect the minorities in Pakistan, and especially whatever is being taught in the school against the religion, against the Christians, against the minorities, that should be taken away from the curriculum of the studies from the school, and equal rights should be given to all the minorities in Pakistan. Thank you very much.
Justice! We want justice! We want justice! We want justice! We want justice!
My brother has spoken about most of the issues in Pakistan which are faced by minorities in Pakistan, but I am representing Sindhi community here, Sindhi nation, one of the only nation in Pakistan which is multi-religious. We have majority of Hindus in Sindh, and here I'm going to talk about the particular situation of Hindus in Sindh and wider Pakistan. There's a systematic and political violence against Hindu families, and we see a fast migration of Hindu community from Sindh. Every year more than 200 families migrate to neighboring countries, and one of the key reasons is the forced conversion of young daughters. I will talk a little later in detail, but approximately about 20 and more than 20 girls every month are kidnapped from Hindu Sindhi communities from Pakistan and particularly Sindh, which are forcibly converted into Muslim marriages. I mean, the situation is just not straightforward, that they are not letting to meet their families or so on, but the whole system is corrupt. The judiciary is corrupt, the police is corrupt, the whole member of parliament here are corrupt. They all are involved in this act. So it's not as straightforward. It's not against people of Pakistan, but it's actually government of Pakistan and establishment of Pakistan which is putting this pressure on the communities and minorities. And I would say it's not correcting blasphemy law, but abolish the blasphemy law. This is the key element we must need to forget. No blasphemy law should be in Pakistani constitution. There must be a legal protection for minorities. We don't need only laws, we need implementation of the laws, and we need assurance from international community that they will force on Pakistan to implement these laws. There's a huge substantial funds come from international community, the European Union, the American aid, all comes to Pakistan. We must put, as a British citizen, as a European citizen, we must pressurize our governments to put the clauses, the protection of minorities, protection of Sindhi Hindus, and particularly because we are facing a grave situation. This is not only a minority issue, it is a Sindhi nation, more than 50 million population, which is being marginalized and use minority as a victim of the political decision in Pakistan. Thank you.
Mindset has to be changed.
Wasn't working.
Hello, good afternoon everyone. My name is Esther and I'm very honored to be here on the democratic land of Europe and among all of you. This is a land that open arms to anyone and everyone who wants to come to this land for any sort of protection. We here are migrants and we are welcomed on this land. However, it is a shame that in our own country where we were born, and we share everything. We share the customs, we share the culture, we share the color of our skin. We are born Pakistanis, but we are being discriminated in our own land. It's a shame that we are welcomed with open arms in Europe, but we are being discriminated in Pakistan. So I am from Punjab, and my friend has talked about many of the Hindus who have migrated from Sindh, and that is a fact. But another fact to be taken notice of is that thousands and thousands of Christians from Punjab have migrated to other countries like Thailand, and the Thailand, because that hasn't signed the Human Rights Treaty, so they are in a very vulnerable condition over there. They have left their country and they are not being accepted by any country. Also, it is a time to remember that Pakistan making some strategic moves at the moment. There was a pilot from India who has been returned to India. We applaud that action. However, there are more than 400 people from Johannabad, Lahore, who have been abducted and are behind the bars just because they tried to stop twin bomb attack on 2 churches, and today it is 4 years and 2 deaths. We have come across 4 years and 2 deaths. 2 people have died behind the wars. There is no case, no judiciary involved, and they are just waiting there for their luck to take. So I would really, everyone who is listening and has influence would like to request to put that pressure and all the pressure groups to really hold Pakistani government accountable for those people who are just behind the bars just because they are from a wrong religion and they are from a wrong community. Because being a minority, religious minority, Pakistan feels like we are at the wrong place. We do not fit. So another thing that Pakistani minority women all the time face, wherever they are from the lower level of community or the strata of the community, they are forced in marriages. However, people who are from upper class, they find it a continuous agony to go through because they are offered or they are pressurized to accept Islam. Whether they are studying, they are working, all the time they are asked to convert to Islam, and nobody finds it offensive. Nobody raises a voice, and this is not a strange to any ear that minority women every day are asked to convert to Islam just because they are beautiful, just because they catch someone's eye, is not an enough reason to pose and impose that I would say mental torment on us. So I would really request every pressure group to raise that, and there has been many cases in the recent past, like 3 months ago, there was a lady who refused to marry a Muslim guy and she was set on fire. The guy came, knocked at the door, asked, "Would you marry me?" She says no, and he threw kerosene oil and just burned her. So is this the answer? There was news, but there was no justice. And before that, let me remind you of Shama and Shehzad. Shama, who was pregnant 6 months, and there was just a hint of maybe her being blasphemous because some of the papers were burned outside her house, and some people reported to the local mosque that those are from Quran. And that couple with the pregnant lady, those were burned in the brick kiln live. I think if we want to bring Pakistan back to a place where human rights are respected, human lives are respected, we need to join forces. And again, we are not against Pakistan. We are Pakistanis. We take pride in that, but we want Pakistan to be a place to live in and not to flee from. Thank you very much.
We want justice. Stop prosecution. Stop. 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 Stop! Stop! We want
I'll now invite Mr. Safdar Zaidi to express his views.
Okay. Bijna Hague iedereen kent me, mijn gezicht. Ik ben een novelist, I'm a writer. The issue of conversion I used to follow from young age. Yes, it's possible. Yes, ik kan spreken allerlei talen. So what's happening? Why a girl from 15 to 20 is converting? Why elderly women are not able to learn about Islam? If you want to convert, you have to be mature, and mature person must be convert. Why from 12, 13, 14, 15, highly up to 20? So people are using sex as a tool of conversion, and is a old technique of war. So it's a war crime. Forced conversion of girls is a war crime, and the sin is really suffering. If we go to Christianity, Christian made Pakistan. They played a role to build a Pakistan. Ahmadis built Pakistan. They vote for Pakistan. They fought for Pakistan. And now what's happening with Ahmadis? We have converted a minority and we are burning their houses. What's happening with Shias? Qaid-e-Azam was Shia and now they are killing Shias. So Pakistan is becoming a hell. If we want to make Pakistan a livable place, we have to stop all this discrimination. और अब मैं कहना चाहूँगा कुछ थोड़ा सा हिंदी में, अगर पाकिस्तान इस तरह से रहेगा तो अब कोई पाकिस्तान में नहीं रहेगा. इस वक्त सबसे बड़ा ब्रेन ड्रेन पाकिस्तान से हो रहा है. तमाम पढ़े लिखे लोग पाकिस्तान छोड़ रहे हैं. अगर पाकिस्तान को खुशहाल बनाना है तो डिस्क्रिमिनेशन ख़त्म करना होगी. नो टू डिस्क्रिमिनेशन.
Dames en heren.
Uit Nederland. Dat de mensen minderheden in Pakistan, die worden gedwongen om een ander geloof aan te nemen. Ze worden gedwongen om dus moslim te worden, laten we het gelijk bij de naam noemen. Ja, anders zijn ze daar overgeveiligd verklaard. Ze kunnen daar niet wonen, want er zijn geen moslims. Je moet hun geloof aanhangen. Doe je dat niet, dan hoor je daar niet thuis. Die mensen worden gewoon geparkeerd, gedwongen om te parkeren. De meisjes worden meegenomen. Ze worden in een ander dorp gebracht. Daar moeten ze de volgende dag trouwen. En als ze eenmaal getrouwd zijn, dan zijn die mensen dus niet meer in hun eigen familie welkom. En ze worden zo verstoten. Het gaat erom dat de minderheden in welk land dan ook, maakt niks uit welk land ze wonen, de minderheden moeten ook gerespecteerd worden. Ook dezelfde rechten hebben ze als alle andere en ze moeten ook zo behandeld worden. Ik wil daarmee dus zeggen dat iedereen die hier woont, heeft recht om te leven, heeft dezelfde rechten als alle anderen en ze moeten ook gelijkwaardig behandeld worden.
We want justice. We want justice. We want justice. ज़्यादा वक्त नहीं, थोड़ी सी बातें मैं हिंदी में खाली खानी थी कि हिंदी में भी बात करो. बात सिस्टम को बदलने की है. इस्लाम में क्या लिखा है वो जब आप इस्लाम को पढ़ोगे तो आपको पता लगेगा क्या है. उसमें हम नहीं जाते, लेकिन मसला है सिस्टम का. और दूसरा मसला ये है कि हम लोग जो यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं, हम अपने लोगों के लिए क्या कर सकते हैं. हम अपने लोगों के लिए आप क्या कर सकते हो. बड़ा अच्छा लगा है पहली दफ़ा ये चेहरे देख के, और ख़ासकर औरतें बाहर निकली हैं. औरतों के लिए सेमिनार भी है, उसके लिए भी हमें अपनी कौम के लिए होना चाहिए. कम से कम आप जो हैं अपने हलके में जो आपके कंसर्निंग पार्लियामेंटर हैं, जो भी हॉलैंड के, डच के पार्लियामेंट के मेंबर्स हैं, काउंसलर्स हैं, उनको अप्रोच करो. आप वोट देते हो और आपको पता नहीं कितना कि किसको वोट दिया है। कम से कम जिसको आप वोट देते हो, कम से कम आपके पास यंग बच्चे हैं, इनको आगे लेके आओ। पिछले साल की बात है, वास्टर ने अपनी बेटी को काउंसिल के लिए खड़ा किया था। बड़ा अच्छी बात है, एक गुड स्टेप है। जब तक आप घरों से बाहर निकल के पार्लियामेंट तक नहीं जाओगे, अपनी कौम के लिए नहीं करते रहोगे, वहाँ पे ये ज़्यादती करते रहेंगे, चाहे वो मरज़ई हो, चाहे वो मसीही हो, चाहे वो हिंदू हो, चाहे वो शिया हो, कुछ भी हो। मुसलमानों का ये काम ही ये है कि हमेशा ज़्यादती की है। आज से 20-50 साल पहले आए, कोई हलाल हराम नहीं था। जैसे इनकी आबादी बढ़ी है, अब इनको हलाल भी चाहिए, इनको हराम भी चाहिए। खाना इनको हलाल चाहिए, काम सारे हराम के हैं। सारी पूछे कोई इधर मेरा भाई खड़ा तो पूछा नहीं खाना, खाना इनको हलाल चाहिए, हलाल है। वो शराब पी के चले जाते हैं कि हलाल है, लेकिन काम हलाल के नहीं है। खुदा आपको एक अच्छी जगह पे लेके आया। मैं कहूँगा खुदा आपको जन्नत में लेके आया। अपनी कौम के लिए कुछ करो, अपनी कौम के लिए अपने लोगों को कंसर्न करो। जब तक आप अपने पार्लियामेंट के पास अपना रोना नहीं लोगे, आपका कुछ नहीं होगा। वहाँ पे जागीरदारी है, नाइंसाफी है, और दुआ करो कि पाकिस्तान का सिस्टम बदले। जब तक सिस्टम करप्ट है, मजहब करप्ट नहीं है, मजहब कोई भी करप्ट नहीं है, मजहब कोई भी दहशतगर्दी नहीं सिखाता। सिस्टम करप्ट है, उसमें करप्ट लोग हैं। कोशिश करो कि आप जो है अपने लोगों को कंसल्ट करके उसको सिस्टम के बदलने की कोशिश करो, ताकि हमारे जो बहन भाई वहाँ पे हैं वो आराम से रहे। खुदा आपको बड़ी बरकत दे। ये लो यार, बस
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for coming together to stand with the persecuted minorities of Pakistan. मैंने बता दिया। I want to thank all the friends of humanity that you have come with the women, especially the minority women of Pakistan, who are abducted, raped, and forcibly converted to Islam, to cover their heinous crime. It's a crime against humanity, and our coming together is a strong show of solidarity that we shall not allow this to happen anymore in Pakistan or anywhere else in the world. The founder of Pakistan, Mr. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, had said, we are starting with this basic principle that we are all equal citizens of one state. After 72 years of Pakistan's existence, we don't see equality. We see majority, cruel majority, powerful majority doing heinous crimes. And we see minorities, religious minorities, poor minorities, kept poor, kept weak, and downtrodden always. Minorities are the backbone of Pakistan. They have always played a vital part in the development and progress of Pakistan, but these minorities have always been kept backward. Today is our time to raise our voice, and raise our voice as loudly as possible. Let the world hear that we have a voice and we must be heard. Minorities of Pakistan have a voice and they should be heard, not only by Pakistan but by the world community, because Pakistan is always begging money to the whole world, begging money for education, begging money for women, begging money for minorities, begging money to help the elderly. But all this money is eaten up by the wealthy, powerful, rich people. The corrupt mafia, which is in the judiciary, which is in the government, which is in the social sector. We need to bring all these people to justice, and we need to give justice to the religious minorities of Pakistan. I now request our friend Mr. Riaz Yaqub from France to come and say a few words.
Thank you. आप सबको सलाम।
मेरा गला बैठ गया नारे मार मार के। मैं बहुत ज़्यादा आपका टाइम नहीं लूँगा, लेकिन हमें इंसाफ चाहिए। पाकिस्तान हमारा भी है, जितना उनका है उतना भी हमारा भी है वो, ठीक है। हमें इंसाफ चाहिए हमारी बेटियों के लिए, हमारी फैमिलियों के लिए, हमें इंसाफ चाहिए। थैंक यू। हमें इंसाफ चाहिए। हमारे वोट से पाकिस्तान का वजूद में आया। हम भी उतने ही पाकिस्तानी हैं जितने वो पाकिस्तानी हैं। हमें इंसाफ चाहिए। हमारा एक ही नारा है, मसीही कौम को, पाकिस्तान में हिंदू कौम को, सिख कौम को हमें इंसाफ चाहिए। थैंक यू वेरी मच। तो ये आज का ये हमारा जो स्टेप है, ये वही एक पहला स्टेप है। इसी तरह हम ऑर्गेनाइज करते रहेंगे, हम उनको बताते रहेंगे।
Ja. Oké, dankjewel. We gaan geen discussie hier houden, dat doen we thuis wel. Ja? Oké, dankjewel. Andy, please. Ja.
हेलो, आई कम फ्रॉम पेरिस। हम पेरिस से आए हैं और आप लोगों से कुछ बातें करने के लिए, प्रोटेस्ट करने के लिए कि आखिर इंसाफ कहाँ से मिलेगा। आखिर जब तक आप प्रोटेस्ट नहीं करेंगे, आपके साथ रब्ता नहीं होगा, आप कैसे मांग सकते हैं किसी को। माँ भी बच्चे को दूध नहीं देती जब तक वो बच्चा रोए नहीं। मैं एक आपको चंद एक अशार सुना देता हूँ कि उस कौम को शमशीर की हाजत नहीं रहती, उस कौम को शमशीर की हाजत नहीं रहती, हो जिनके जवानों की खुदी सूरत फौलाद। आगे जी।
Ja. Yeah, okay.
We want justice. We want justice. We want justice. No for blasphemy law. No for blasphemy law. No for blasphemy law.
Because people are coming in, so we give the petition. Please just.
We moeten hier staan, want mensen...
Even achter de band.
Alsjeblieft, even een beetje die kant.
Ja.
Even een beetje opschrijven. Alsjeblieft.
Kijk, June. Ga het eens even terug.
Kijk,
Yes.
Zijn er meerdere Kamerleden? Ja, u bent de enige.
Nou, kijk.
Ja. Heeft u wat te zeggen misschien? Ja.
Ja, ik begrijp dat jullie een petitie aanbieden.
Ja, dat is echt
ja.
bedoeld voor de Pakistanse
ja.
overheid, wat er nu daar allemaal gaande is.
Ja. Nee, ja, ik wil wat zeggen.
Ja.
In het Engels of in het Engels? Of in
ja, in het Engels.
In het Engels?
Okay. Please, throw us the line.
Well, very welcome to the neighborhood of the Dutch Parliament. My name is Joel Voordewind. I'm a member of the Christian Union party here in Parliament. We're a Christian party, but we stand up for all minorities, especially in Pakistan. We have sheltered here Mr. Malouk. He is a well-known lawyer in Pakistan. He stands up for many refugees, many minorities. Including Asia Bibi, and of course we all know that she will be released hopefully soon. Thanks to all of you that protested for her freedom, not only for her but for many others who are in prison and who are victims of the blasphemy law, which is a serious danger to a lot of religious minorities in Pakistan. I have visited Pakistan together also with our MP of the European Parliament, Peter van Dalen. He has been there. He's special rapporteur for the European Parliament. And so we have the minorities high on the political agenda as well in Brussels as here in Den Hague. So I'm very pleased to have you here, and it's encouraging to see you all.
And I understood that tonight there will be another seminar where you expect hundreds of people. So this shows that in your community it has a high priority, and we'll take this message also through the Christian Union to the Dutch Parliament. So thank you very much for your coming, and I will be happy to receive the petition.
Thank you very much, Mr. Joel.
I think there are.
I would like if you can just let us know. I think something really need to be done about the young girls which are forcefully kidnapped, and then just in a matter of hours she is converted, 13, 14 years old girl, and then they are totally cut off from their family. She cannot meet the parents, brothers, and anybody from the family, and then the people don't know what is her state and in what state she is living, and then they say that now she has converted and she cannot meet anybody. So this is every year more than 1,000 police reports are registered, and many thousands are not registered because of shame factor, because people don't want others to know what happened to them, and because of their so this is something which Pakistani minorities, especially the Christian and the Hindus, are looking at the international community to help them. Yeah.
I think the matter is not in favor of Mr. Forward, there are 3 power ladies that want to hand over you the petition, and as a Dutch citizen, we believe that we will get attention from the Dutch government.
Okay, and can you tell a little bit the content on the petition?
The petition is we put the reports on human rights of Pakistan, our GHRD report, what has happened last year, and also the cases that is pending in the Pakistan about missing children and girls, mainly the target of minority girls.
Okay, this is the report, the petition. Okay.
We have been collecting the data. We have been collecting the database of Hindu Sindhi girls which have been kidnapped as a children, and we submitted UPR last year before when Pakistan was under review by United Nations Human Rights Commission. We're happy to provide that database. We still don't know these 160 girls where are. And we will be grateful for Dutch government to take a particular interest, and we can provide that database through GHRD as well. Thank you.
Yeah, I would be happy to receive these reports, and it's a very sad case. I know from Hindus, but also Christians, that are abducted and they're forced marriage, and we also discussed this earlier in Parliament before. But it's good to have the facts and the database.
We've been collecting a lot of data, and the part of UPR we did.
Very good.
When Pakistan was under review. But this issue was never really addressed by even Pakistan mission when they responded to UPR. And I have presented to the European Parliament as well, but I have a particular case because I've been collecting a lot of data. This is not easy job, and we really need help because this is an international issue. It's not. We just do not trust on Pakistani judiciary system to be these girls to be treated fairly. And I think that's where I will put the position on it.
You want to say something?
Heel slechte weer.
Yeah, I'm sorry about the Dutch weather. It's getting worse with the minutes. So thank you again for your
thank you very much.
coming, and God bless you all.
Thanks for your time.
Ja, bedankt nogmaals. Goed zegen hier. En we spreken nog.
Are you coming in the evening?
No,
I need to know your name and your Twitter handle if possible.
Yes, Joel for the wind. Joel for the wind.
Joel.
Joel.
Okay,
yes.
bear with me a second.
I think they all have my
Yeah.
address.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ja, zullen we daar... deze kun je zo meteen...
Nee,
Misschien kun je vertellen dat wat we net gedaan hebben, dat het nu regent.
It's currently raining at the plein, so the back of the parliament right here. What just happened was that there was a minister of the parliament came out, and he took in the petition as well as the human rights report, and he told us that he's going to do something about it. So he's going to tell the cause we are walking for today. He's going to lay it down before the Dutch Parliament in order to bring it towards the European Union and consequently to the United Nations in order to actively do something about it. So these are promising words. Hopefully it will actually go through. But for now, this is the march, and we're going back to the Grote Kerk, where there'll be a human rights seminar.
Yeah, we spoke to them and asked them to correct that.
Because I think that's very dangerous.
Fotografeerd. Zeker. Wel blijven lachen.
Oké, terug.
Daar. Hoezo is het dan?
We're now at the end of the march. We arrived here back in Grote Kerk. We walked among several important buildings here in The Hague. So we delivered the petition, for example, to the parliament, who promised to do something with it on an international level. Now we move on to the several human rights seminars and dinner that comes after.
Lieve mensen, van harte welkom op deze mooie Internationale Vrouwendag. Ik ga deze speech nu in het Nederlands doen. Want zometeen nemen wat collega's van mij dit over. En die gaan het in het Engels presenteren. Mijn naam is Diane Flat. Ik ben de communicatieadviseur van Global Human Rights Defense. Zeg ik het goed? Nog steeds. Ik wil de heer Sital graag naar voren roepen. Ik weet dat hij dit niet gepland heeft. Dit staat niet op de planning. Maar ik wil jullie allemaal vragen voor een hartelijk applaus voor de voorzitter, de oprichter van de stichting Global Human Rights Defense. Je mag naar voren staan. Dit heeft hij allemaal georganiseerd. Hij is van Surinaamse afkomst. Hij is ook een collega van mij. Hij werkt bij economische zaken. En hij werkt altijd undercover. Ik ben zo trots op hem. Want heel veel collega's van mij die weten niet waar hij mee bezig is. En ik mag blij zijn met zo'n collega. Meneer Sital, ik dank u hartelijk dat u dit allemaal tot stand heeft kunnen brengen. Dank u wel. Nogmaals een applaus. Ja, dank u. Naar aanleiding van de Vrouwendag, Internationale Vrouwendag, 8 maart is deze dag georganiseerd. Vandaag is het 7 maart. Waarom 7 maart? Omdat 8 maart iedereen massaal dat aan het organiseren is, hebben wij besloten om dit op 7 maart te organiseren. Deze wandelmars is georganiseerd door Global Human Rights Defense, zoals jullie al weten. En we hebben nog meerdere vrijwilligers die ik eigenlijk ook wil benoemen, omdat deze mensen het hard hebben gemaakt om het plaats te laten vinden. Om te beginnen met Juliette. Juliette, wil je even opstaan, alsjeblieft? En naar voren komen. Juliette is onze perswoordvoerder. Een hartelijk applaus voor Juliette. Vivek. Waar is onze Vivek? Dankjewel, Juliette. Vivek, laat je zien. Please, come in front. Charlotte, Ranjiv, please come in front. Please be enthusiastic. Come in front. Een applaus voor Vivek, de man van mensenrechten. Ja, hier staat hij. Een hartelijk applaus voor Mijn lieve Vivek. Voor Ranjiv, de man van de centjes, onze penningmeester. Dank je wel. Verder wil ik ook Sarita, de stichting Sarita bedanken. Waar staat mevrouw Matura? Waar zit ze? Hele sterke vrouw. Ik ken haar heel wat jaren. We volgen elkaar. Een geweldige vrouw.
Dank je. Dank je wel, Diana.
Graag gedaan. Henna Matura. Verder is OPCA is ook een van onze sponsors. Ook een applaus voor die stichting. De ECOSOC, United Nations, ook een applaus voor hun alsjeblieft. Stop Minority Persecution, ook een applaus voor hun alsjeblieft. En dan heb ik nog een, ja, we moeten niet vergeten onze vrijwilligers, onze Surinaamse bakkerij, Ashok Gambaram. Hartelijk dank dat jullie voor ons hebben gezorgd vandaag en ook voor ons zullen zorgen vanavond. Belafonte Luxe Magazine heeft alle waterflesjes gesponsord. Ik zie hem nog niet, maar ook een applaus voor Ben de Roy. En voordat ik een sterke vrouw ga uitnodigen, mevrouw Gerda Havertong, oeps, ik heb het al gezegd, maar wil ik toch iemand even naar voren halen. Haar naam is Carol. Waar is Carol? Een hele sterke jonge dame van 20 jaar uit Amsterdam. Zij wil even de hart onder de riem steken aan de ouders van de Aziatische bevolking. En iets over de jongeren vertellen.
Yes, dankjewel. Ik ga het in het Engels doen, voornamelijk ook omdat Engels een taal is. Hallo? Ja. Harder? Oké. Ik ga het in het Engels doen, omdat voornamelijk de mensen Engels verstaan. Dus hierbij my speech. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Carol Anjum. I'm 20 years old. I was born in Amsterdam and have been living there since then. My interest and work is related to cosmetic and modeling. My aim of coming here today is to give message to all the young girls out there who have been living in developing countries like India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, etc. Where the system, where the system is still not well established and the culture is not modern enough that they can display their talent and fulfill their dreams. I often wonder about myself, that if I was not born in Europe and my parents are not broad-minded, then would I not be able to do what I have achieved so far? For example, competing for the Miss World India Holland Beauty Contest and participating in different kind of fashion shows. In order to fulfill your dreams and to be able to achieve something, one must need the support of your family, especially your parents. I'm truly thankful to my parents that they support me in every aspect of my life. My main motive of coming here today is to address the parents, family, communities, and the governments that they should change their mindset and take decisions according to the changing times so that the future of your children will be brighter and beautiful. We are living in 2019, but we are still carrying the mindset of the 18th century. That needs to be ended. We should not let our daughters, sisters, and wives to live the lives of prisoners. Instead, we should protect and encourage them that they can live the life to their fullest. We can only make our lives better by broadening our mindsets instead of focusing on the materialistic things. In the end, my message to all the young girls is that please fight for your own rights because God helped those who help themselves. I would like to conclude my speech with this quote. God never put you into a situation alone. God goes before you. He stands beside you. He walks behind you. Whatever situation you have right now, be confident. God is with you. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Carol. Ja, dit is nou een hele sterke jonge vrouw waar ik diep respect voor heb. Dank je wel, Carol. We can do it. Ja, en dan komen we tot de hoogtepunt van vanavond, waarmee we gaan starten. Vandaag is onze gastvrouw een hele sterke vrouw waar ik heel erg naar opkijk. Als ik haar zie, krijg ik kippenvel. Ik ben zo trots op haar. Ze is van Surinaamse afkomst. Mevrouw Gerda Havertong, bekend van Sesamstraat, actrice, zangeres, verhalenvertelster, presentatrice. Mevrouw Gerda Havertong. Een hartelijk applaus voor Gerda Havertong. Ik moet ook even wat zeggen. Zij heeft een beetje griep. Haar stem is niet zo denderend. Maar we gaan ervan uit dat wij allemaal kippenvel gaan krijgen, zoals ik dat altijd heb. Lieve Gerda, welkom en dank je wel dat je hier onze gastvrouw en moderator wilt zijn. Dank je wel.
Thank you, Diana. And hello, all of you. I'm so sorry. I had a bad cold. And I don't know if it's all right to start this because the introduction is so wonderful and the voice is bad. I'm so sorry that I can't give you my best voice, but I hope that there's somebody around who can help me to fix this evening, because I wanted so much to be here today. I've never heard about Mr. Sital, but to tell you the truth, I've talked to him on the telephone. I'm not sure if this gentleman is from Suriname. I'm really not sure, because sometimes I'm waiting to find people from Suriname who are going and do things which I'm thinking, and I'm not doing it. And then he's done it. Thank you very much to be here. Thank you very much, Mr. Sital, to be here around. And what shall I say? I have a small speech here. I forgot your name, young lady. Where are you? But it was a wonderful speech. It's good for old ladies to hurt young ladies. On behalf of global human rights defense, here in the Grote Kerk, a place where justice has been held for decades, I'm very glad to be here around to talk about justice. Talk about justice with women who are younger than me and already have a lot of special things to share with us. At present, there are still many kidnappings, rapes, forced conversations, and forced marriage taking place in Pakistan, as a result of which religious minorities are decreasing in numbers. We got to take care. Between 1947 and 2017, that's 70 years, the religious minorities in Pakistan have been reduced from 23% to 3.7%, according to reports from certificate NGOs and the Statistics Office. of Pakistan. It's killing me. It's killing me. For that reason, I think we got to fight. And for this part, I had a song. Fight. Fight, women. Fight everywhere you go. There is never going to be another you. You are the one. But I'm not going to try to sing it, to give it a melody. I'm only give you the lyrics. Die zo goed zijn. Misschien. Because of Pakistan is a member of UN and several international organizations with treats for human rights. It is important that the country is called to account for responsibility to protect religious minorities. Minorities. I almost cannot speak my English, you know. Our walking march, which is a protest march against the persecution of those minorities in Pakistan, is dominated by International Women's Day and doubles the awareness. If we do nothing, religious, sexual, and ethnic minorities, girls, women, will be completely wiped out in the coming 10 years. Don't let that happen. We are therefore not on the side. Do not pitifully, you are a go-getter. That's what we are. You are here, all of you who are here. That's not a semblance. That means you have a helping hand. You are giving a helping hand. Otherwise, we shouldn't be here. You, all of you, one by one, belong to the international community that comes into action. And I love it. Push on. Thank you. Wie was degene die nog een presentatie zou kunnen doen? Is die in de buurt? Want het volgende wat ik nu te doen heb... Do you understand me? What I'm saying? Because I don't understand myself. Anyway, there are 5 ladies.
Ja.
5 ladies.
Gerda, ik heb begrepen dat je wat hulp nodig hebt.
Ik denk dat dit niet werkt.
Geen probleem.
Ik voel me
Geen probleem. We zijn al lang heel erg blij dat Gerda er was. Of niet, mensen? Zo'n krachtige vrouw.
Even rustig.
Die bij ons is gekomen.
Laat mij het even afronden. Ik voel me er niet gemakkelijk onder. Je stem is namelijk the voice. The voice is something what's scaring you. If you don't have your voice, you have a small part of you as somebody who can give a presentation. So I should want to introduce those 5 ladies and ask the next person, I don't know if it's you, ask the next person to take my job off and help me to do this, Mr. Seta. Sit down. Because there's nothing else I can do. I want you to enjoy the things we have to do here tonight and this afternoon. And I don't want you to enjoy this the way I'm doing it. So, where is the lady or the gentleman?
Lieve mensen, we gaan onze perswoordvoerder naar voren halen. Juliette Rierink. Een applaus voor Juliette.
Dan geef er een microfoon. kan ze nog wat zeggen tegen mij. Oh, dag Juliette, dankjewel. Dankjewel dat je het wilt doen.
It's a great
Want het
introduction.
is, it was a small great,
Very small.
a small great introduction.
We need to help each other out here, I understand.
Anyway, I'm very glad
Yeah,
that
of
you
course.
are around.
I will, yeah.
Go on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ja, lieve mensen, we waren op alles voorbereid. Dus dit moet geen probleem zijn. Nogmaals een heel hartelijk applaus voor onze perswoordvoerder, mevrouw Juliette Riering. Dankjewel Juliette dat je dit wilt overnemen.
Dankjewel. Well, I'll take it over in English again. Thank you here for being all here today. I would like to call to the front here the speakers for the first seminars. I think that was you. Any other speakers as well? I don't know their names by heart, but I think they're all aware of you two at the back. Yes. Yes, you. Let me see. Does someone have a list for me? Let me check.
Deze ook? Welke? Welke heb je nodig? Ga ik het nu pakken voor je? Introductie. Ik pak hem. Zal ik hem pakken voor je?
Okay, yes. Okay, so here is, please take a seat, girls. I will introduce you later because I'm not sure what is your name yet. Thank you for being here today. I would like for you to do a short introduction of 5 minutes of yourself, and then I'll take over with some questions. I'll start with you.
I think, hello. My name is Rubina Greenwood. I'm chairwoman of World Sindhi Congress. We are UK-based human rights advocacy group, and also we have offices in US and Canada and Sindh in Pakistan. We raise human rights situation in Sindh particularly, which is the southern province and second largest nation within Pakistan. And I have been doing activism and human rights work since my teenage. By profession, I'm an infrastructure engineer, but I have been doing a lot of work on forced conversion of Sindhi Hindu girls and extrajudicial killing and kidnapping of political activists in Sindh.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Henna Matura. I am the chairman of organization Stichting Sarita for 25 years. And my profession was teacher for 43 years. So I have plenty of time to work with women and girls. And I like to be here. And I will thank Mr. Sital that he invited me to enjoy and to join also this program. And it is for me a wonderful job that I can hear. And I am very glad for all the peoples here, what they are here. Because we all stand for not violence. And that I am very glad. And now I will speak in Dutch, because my friends are all Dutch speakers. Goedenavond, dames en heren. Ik ben Henna Matura, voorzitter van Stichting Vrouwenorganisatie Sarita. 43 jaar heb ik onderwijservaring als loopbaanbegeleider, coach. En ik ken ook gevallen als wat er vandaag plaatsvindt, waarvoor we vandaag gelopen hebben, de wandelmars, of ik zou zeggen de mars. Als je zou zeggen wandelmars, denk ik een beetje positief. Ik zou zeggen een mars dat we gehouden hebben. En dat er zoveel mensen hebben echt meegedaan aan deze mooie wandeling. En dat we allemaal blijk geven van we zijn tegen geweld. En vooral onderdrukking van de vrouwen en meisjes vooral. En ik denk van als je een geloof hebt, heb respect daarvoor. En we moeten respect voor elkaar hebben. En ik ben zo dankbaar dat u met grote getalen gekomen zijn. En straks hoor u nog meer over mij.
Yeah, my name is Carol Anjum, as I said before. I'm 20 years old. My parents are from Pakistan. I'm born here in Amsterdam. I work as a model. I work with cosmetic things. I'm not someone who belongs to an organization or something. This is my first time, so I will try, but I want to, because I feel like if me as a young girl will speak, maybe other young girls will teach. Like they will learn from it. So yeah.
Great, thank you all for being here. This is wonderful. We're very privileged to have you here today. I think the first question we'd like to start with is asking you, or all of you actually, how did you become a human rights or minority rights activist? Because that's not always something that goes, it's not always a choice, right? It's something that happens because certain experiences as well. And I would like to get that answer from you. Yeah.
As I mentioned, I'm born Sindhi, and I'm born in Sindh, which is now currently, I would call, say, occupied by Pakistan. So we are talking about here issues of minority rights, but I want to bring this attention that it's not only minority, but Pakistan has successfully undermined the smaller nations within Pakistan. So it means the Sindhis, the Baloch, and the Pathans, we are the oppressed nation of Pakistan. So it's not a minorities only, but it's the smaller nations within Pakistan is also being oppressed. So as being a Sindhi born, when I go into my own capital for applying for a job, I do not get the job because my accent is so Sindhi. I am marginalized because I do not fit the scene of mainstream Pakistan Urdu speaking. I don't have offense, I love Urdu, but I just wanted to say that how the regional languages and regional indigenous nations are also marginalized within Pakistan. So me being born as a Sindhi is one of the key driver for me to be a human rights activist. But in my lifetime, when I was there, I've seen so much systematic discrimination about my own brothers and my sisters just being Sindhi or just raising the voice against. I was age 18, 19 when I received the dead bodies of my brothers during the massacre in Hyderabad, which was a systematic massacre or attacks on the Sindhi communities and Sindhi region. So that was one of the breakthrough for me when I actually saw the massacre of my own people on my own motherland.
And for you, doing this job right now, or taking this responsibility upon you, does it make it hard for you to go back to your country now? Or is it difficult for you?
It's true. I haven't been back home. I am, I am risking, and my families are risk. Many of my team members of World Sindhi Congress cannot travel back home in Sindh and Pakistan. We will be actually vanished. So the people who are actually talking about the rights of Sindh or the minorities' right or any right thing to do in Pakistan will be forcefully disappeared or wiped up. You will not find it. At the moment, more than 4,000 people are disappeared in Pakistan. We are releasing our pilot from India, which is a really great move. But can I ask Imran Khan, the Prime Minister, where are my 4,000 brothers as well, which are being held, and their families and their sisters and mothers are struggling. There's no, if they have done a crime, bring them on the court. But there's nothing as such as happening.
Great, thank you. To you as well, Hannah Matura, could you maybe explain to me shortly why you became a minority rights activist?
I will do that in Dutch. Onderdrukking van, zeg maar, vrouwen en meisjes, dat is geen goede zaak. Is heel erg. Dat mag gewoon niet. En daarom ben ik ontzettend blij van deze dag dat er bewustwording wordt gemaakt. Want toen ik heel wat mensen uitnodigde voor deze bijeenkomst, zeiden ze, je begint ergens waar geen eind aan komt. Waar begin je nou mee? Het is zo. Het blijft zo. En ik zei, ik sta op en samen met mij staan jullie ook op. We moeten het bespreekbaar maken. Want ook in Nederland komt het voor. Ik kom uit Suriname En daar komt het ook wel voor, alleen wordt er niet over gesproken. Daar is het een soort taboe. En dat vind ik heel erg, want het kan iedereen overkomen. Ik woon hier in Nederland al 45 jaar en ik ben ook coach geweest, loopbaanbegeleider. En wat ik allemaal zag, was verschrikkelijk. Er kwamen ook heel veel mensen uit het buitenland. Turkije, Marokko, Somalië. Die kwamen allemaal om gecoacht te worden. En wat zag je? Dat ze allemaal een rugzak hadden. Want ook zij hebben met dit soort problemen te maken gehad. Onderdrukking, kidnapping, rape, noem maar op. Ook door de eigen familie. En wat ik ook zag, ook Hindoestaanse meisjes. Want wat zeiden ze? Bij Hindoestanen komt dat niet voor. En nog steeds wordt het ontkend. Bij Hindoestanen zeggen ze, kom niet voor, kom bij een ander. Maar ze bedoelen in onze familie. Maar dat weet je ook niet. Want wat achter de ogen staan, wat schuil gaat, weet je niet. Pas als je in gesprek gaat. En zo heb ik dat ook gehad. Dus ook in Nederland komt dat voor. Ook jonge kinderen worden verkracht. Maar gelukkig heb je hier coaching. Dat je die kinderen en die vrouwen kunt coachen. Maar zeg maar in Pakistan, dat vind ik verschrikkelijk. De regering werkt helemaal niet mee. Die is zelf corrupt. Denk je van, waar blijft mensenrechten dan voor die mensen? Ze zijn daar in het land, zullen veilig zijn, maar daar hebben ze geen hulp. In Nederland is er gelukkig hulp. Maar alleen moeten de mensen durven erover te kunnen praten.
Oké, dankjewel. Even... ik wil eerst heel veel de mensen achterin aanspreken of ze even willen gaan zitten. Het is te gehoorig en we kunnen het hier vooraan niet goed horen. Dus de mensen die achteraan staan, willen jullie alsjeblieft gaan zitten op een stoel.
Can the people please sit?
People in the back, can you please go take a seat and sit down? Okay, well. In the meantime, another lady joined us. So could you maybe give us a short introduction, because we would like to know why you're here.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Is that any better? Good evening, everyone. My name is Esther Das. I am from Pakistan, Punjab, Pakistan. I am representing Pakistani Christians over here. As you asked everyone, I'm just going to connect that to this question. In 2009, I was appalled by the news that the whole Pakistani Christian colony in Gojra, that's my birthplace, was set ablaze by madrasa boys led by the ruling party political leader over there. And that was the point when my political awakening started, or I was born politically, I would say. And from there on, I have come a long way. And now I am trying to connect politically, because this seems to be the way forward. And I am connected with the Sindhi people in Pakistan. So I have crossed over borders in Pakistan as well, so that I could connect other people. I'm part of Pakistan's People's Party, minority coordinator. I'm also very active with the Conservative Party in the UK, and I am volunteering with All Parties Parliamentary Group, that's called APPG, for Pakistani religious minorities. And we research and we present reports to the policymakers so that change could be started and established then thereon.
I can imagine that this way you go about this is very frustrating sometimes, because it's very difficult to change policy. In what fields do you see that your change works?
Okay, so the recent example that has encouraged me and many other people who have been struggling for that is against the people who have been struggling to change the policy about blasphemy, or to get the victim any relief. Because what happens in Pakistan, the blasphemy law is, to put it in an easy way, is that if you murder someone, you can hide the body and no one can charge you with murder. And whereas in Pakistan, if you just say that someone has said blasphemy and you do not need to explain that, you will be charged with the murder. Like you will be hanged till death. That's the consequence. So there is a case, very famous case of Asiya Bibi, and we have been struggling for the last 9 years, and we have been quite active through the protests, through writing petitions, through holding demonstrations, writing to the MPs, and also connecting to the civil society in Pakistan. So that I would say there was very little change, and there was very frustrating. But in the end, she has got evicted. However, the acquittal is not really meaningful unless she leaves the country, because even if she is released from the jail, I think there is a history of extrajudicial killings in Pakistan. So there were people who were released from that, but the civil society said, no, we don't believe the courts, and he must have said, or she must have said something against our religion or our prophet. So there had been killings. So yes, that is frustrating, but when there are changes like that, that happens. Another change that has happened is in the country report. Country report, for people who probably wouldn't be aware of the UK immigration system, is a report that experts put together so that if someone applies for asylum on the basis of persecution, that could be, their truth or their story could be verified through that book. In the Pakistan's country report, which has not been changed for the last 2 decades, it was established that the state supports and protects masses, and police and judiciary are all on our side, whereas the truth was just the contrary. It's just the contrary. Because if you are a Christian and if someone says, oh, she has committed blasphemy, and you go to the police station to get protection, they would look down upon you because they think that you have done that. They wouldn't wait until you are proved guilty. So this is a situation in Pakistan. So we, 2 years back, after continuous and repetitive efforts, we have been successful in presenting a report to the UKVI, that is the immigration authorities in UK, so that the people from religious minority groups, when they apply, they should be looked into the light of that report as well. So the country report is being updated now.
Great, thank you for your answer. Great. Let me see. To all of you, maybe, what do you think is needed to be locally here, but also on international level? What is needed to be done from the national community or international community right now in order to make these changes?
I'm particularly here to raise the issue of forced conversion of Sindhi Hindu girls. And this issue is a really grave situation in Pakistan, and it's not been awareness has not been raised about this issue internationally as much as it should be. I'll just give you some statistics here, that there are about more than 20 girls every month are being abducted, kidnapped, and forced into Islam. And these girls are not a grown-up woman, these are underage girls. So there's not an issue of only, it's a women's rights issue, but it's a child issue, child rights. Secondly, it's a human rights. And I see also as a political issue as well. It's actually, the kidnapping of the young girls is being used by Pakistani state as a politically try to make Pakistan more Puritan. So what happens, these men, when Hindu families are saying that their young girls are being kidnapped, what chance they have? So what they do, they migrate. They leave their motherland. Hence, it make more Pakistan Puritan. So they are really successfully doing that. Now, I also want to give, there's many cases has been on the media. The one particular case I brought to United Kingdom was a Rinkle Kumari case in 2012. I was myself against the Chief Justice campaign because who gave the case. And I'll give you the example. There was in that particular case, and many of 100 girls, the judiciary, the police, the parliamentary members, the government, all are connected in this act. So I do not see it's actually it's a pure human rights, it's a politically ploy. So what I'm here actually and expecting, first to raise the awareness of this issue. We have submitted UPR, which is Universal Periodic Review in United Nations, where we put quite a substantive data on the forced conversion of Hindu girls. What I would like to, European Union and European stakeholder, there's a huge substantial funds goes to the Pakistan on the economic GSP Plus, which is one of the biggest economic contract the government has. European Parliament put the prerequisite, first of all, on Pakistan to bring the law, first of all, make the law that it is illegal. Second, to make sure the institutions are there to implement that law. And thirdly, actually, I do not trust the even judiciary system of Pakistan. Forced conversion issue of Hindu girls is a political issue and is an international issue. And these cases should be dealt by independent international arbiters, because we don't have any trust. We have seen Wrinkle Kumaris, Lata, so many names I can go on, where actually court has played against the girl. These girls cannot go to home. They are not, because once they are married, they cannot live in the Hindu families, so they have to live in a husband's or the person who has kidnapped her. They need to be legally lived with these families. And unfortunately, our social system is also not helpful, because once the girl is married to a Muslim man, not many Hindu families also accept them as daughters. And I think this is more grave situation than we think. It's not as straightforward. It needs really international intervention. And first of all, the sad thing is that still we have not been successfully promote this issue. And I really urge here, many advocacy members are sitting here, many journalists, to look at this issue in more detail. Thank you.
Great, thank you. The following question I will ask in Dutch, so that you can both answer them in Dutch. Maybe that's nice. Ik wil jullie vragen, wat vinden jullie dat er op nationaal of in onze eigen kringen, in onze eigen vriendenkringen of wat dan ook gedaan kan worden om vrouwen te empoweren?
Nou, om vrouwen te empoweren op dit gebied. Nou, kijk, Stichting Sarita is al ruim 25 jaar bezig om vrouwen te empoweren. En hoe empoweren we vrouwen? Kijk, elke vrouw, elk meisje loopt met een rugzakje. En dat merk je al heel gauw. Ze zien er heel mooi uit. En zou je denken, die is heel gelukkig. Maar ga maar in gesprek. Dus wat doen wij? Want ik zei al net, Hindoestaanse vrouwen en meisjes, die hebben nooit een probleem. Maar als professional zie je gelijk, er klopt iets niet. Je gaat in gesprek. En pas na een paar maanden heb je echt contact. En dan loopt het. Dus ik denk dat je het vertrouwen moet gaan winnen van iedereen die niet durft te praten. Want enigszins begrijp ik het ook wel. Want je moet eerst accepteren wat er met je gebeurd is, verwerken. En dan pas ga je erover praten. Dus ik denk dat we al deze meisjes en deze vrouwen moeten gaan empoweren en gaan kijken, want elke vrouw, elk meisje is uniek. En iedereen heeft zijn talent. En daar begin je mee. Je gaat niet gelijk praten over de problemen. Want als je over problemen praat, zijn ze gelijk helemaal stil. Ze slaan dicht. Ga maar over de talenten praten. Praat maar over de jonge jaren. Wat is je mooiste tijd? Dus op die manier proberen we de meisjes en de vrouwen te empoweren. En pas als we het goede vertrouwen hebben, ze voelen zich lekker erbij. En dan kun je overgaan tot de dag van waar we het nou over hebben. Dan komen ze vanzelf met hun problemen. En dan kun je daarop hun sterk maken. Het kan van alles zijn. Het kan zijn een trauma van in de jonge jaren. Het kan zijn de zware mishandeling. Of misschien hebben ze iets meegemaakt. Misschien hebben ze een verkrachting meegemaakt van dichtbij. En dat slaat allemaal op bij een jong kind. Bij een vrouw. Een vrouw die misschien jarenlang door de eigen familie is misbruikt. Dat komt voor. Ik heb zelf een student in de klas gehad. Een Hindoestaans meisje die verkracht is geweest door haar vader, de ooms, neven. en broers. En hoe oud was ze toen? 12. Het begon op haar 3e. Je hebt een stiefvader, die had 2 stiefdochters van 5 en 6 jaar. Die zijn ook vanaf baby af verkracht. Denk je van, hoe kan dat nou? Dus op die manier, dus er komt echt van alles voor. Op die manier kun je dus eerst het vertrouwen winnen. Heb je het vertrouwen gewonnen, ga je over leuke dingen praten. En dan ga je met hen bijvoorbeeld activiteiten doen. Wat vind je leuk om te doen? En als je laagdrempelig begint, dan pas komt het vanzelf los. Dan zie wat ik nu zie, 25 jaar, ja, ik doe het werk al ruim 35 jaar, maar Sarita bestaat 25 jaar. Als ik die vrouwen nu zie, zijn powervrouwen geworden. Ze zijn zulke sterke vrouwen, maar ze hebben geleerd om voor zichzelf op te komen en ze hebben een doel voor ogen. Want heb je geen doel voor ogen, kan je niet daar op de top komen. Dus die vrouwen zijn powervrouwen geworden. Bedoel ik niet dat ze hoog opgeleid allemaal zijn. Maar dat is niet een powervrouw. Een powervrouw is die van laag begint met dat problemen en ineens zie je ze groeien. En dan hebben ze iets bereikt in hun leven. En ze staan sterk in hun schoenen. Ze kunnen ook weer anderen gaan helpen. Dus op die manier kun je dat doen.
Dankjewel. Even kijken. I'll change the subject now to Pakistan again. Let me see. Can you tell me maybe what steps, what steps need to be taken from the international community to effectively change this?
Okay, to answer this question, I need to touch upon the concerns that we have in Pakistan and then request the international support in that. So I'm going to touch upon, there are 6 to 7 points quickly, won't take very long. The first one is to revisit blasphemy law. This is really, really important to prevent so many extrajudicial killings and to save the society from being a polarized society. The second one is that we need inclusion in the census report. Now, what has happened for the last few years, Pakistan has not generated and not shared the data from the census report. That is why we do not know exact numbers of our people. And that is showing that minorities are reducing. They are reducing, but they happen to appear even less than they are. And that is why that affects a lot of things like quotas for education and for jobs, and that is really, really important. So the third one is that we want elected members to represent us in the parliament and not the selected members. At the moment, what's happening, thank you for your support. At the moment, what's happening that we do not have elections, and any ruling party, they have their own people, they have their minority wings, and people who are associated with them are busy in pleasing the party agenda rather than their own people and bring forth their cases and their concerns. The next one is curriculum reforms. The curriculum, not only from the state schools, but from the private schools as well, is full of hate material. And I am very pleased that there is something moving on now in Punjab, and there is a new chapter on ethics that has been included. But that chapter again starts with the Muslim ethics that takes the lion's share, and then other religions. So this is how everything is being divided. So I think all the hate material should be removed, because I have grown up reading books which that would call delineate that Muslims are the supreme people, and everyone else is either against them or are bad, and they are called kuffar. Imagine sending your child to a school who would learn that and then come home and then is told, no, every human being is equal and we need to love everyone, and that was very confusing. And then there are legal implementations to stop violence against minority women. I think my friend has covered that. And there are, I would just say that because of that issue, many of the people, Hindu community, they are migrating, and also Christians, thousands of the families for the last 10 years, they have migrated. And this is a sad place to be when you have to leave your motherland just for the reason that you're being discriminated. There is then freedom of expression. We cannot really express. When I was doing my master's in English literature, I was asked to explain a poetic piece which was related to the Holy Bible, and I was criticized to call Jesus the Son of God, but I tried to explain, I am not asking you to believe, this is what I believe, and I should have a right to express that. But it was a sad situation, I don't want to go into a detail, but this is what's happening. We can't really express our faith. Letting us go to the churches is not the only thing that we want. It's not the complete expression of faith. And there are many IDPs, progressive Pakistanis who are being, just disappearing, and we call them IDPs. Then there is police and security forces. They must stop the misuse of powers because there is a case of Patras Masih, who was accused of blasphemy, and then his cousin brother was abducted by the police, and the police said that they would sodomize him if he, they forced him to sodomize his own brother if they do not accept. So they had two ways: either he sodomized his own brother and sexually abuse him in front of the police officers, or accept that they have committed blasphemy. So both of these lead to, death for them. One is moral death, and the other one is physical. And then there is safety for our economic, social, and cultural rights. And I think it should be noted that there is an urgent need to increase spending in the social sector, especially for health and education. And there was a time when there was a big infrastructure by the missionaries from America and CMS, Church Mission Society, in Pakistan, of schools and hospitals. But during Bhutto government in 1970s, everything was nationalized. So we lost that resource for economic, well-being. And then for the international community, I would say that I would really beseech you to help us realize our dream of a peaceful Pakistan through these three. One is holding the state of Pakistan accountable for their signature on the Human Rights Treaty. This needs to be done. So everything, every aid, every relationship extended to them should be made conditional with the human rights situation in Pakistan. Secondly, rendering us media support, please, to break stories internationally in order to enable pressure groups to ensure social and political justice and change. So this would be a great help. This is a practical step. And the last one is empowering the vulnerable communities through creating opportunities for exposure, education, and training. So this is to elaborate on this point, I would say I would propose to start a forum where people from these marginalized communities could be given a chance to share their proposal for business or social change. And funding and mentorship could be provided to ideas with the most potential of creating an impact. And the cycle of conventional way of sending a bulk aid and being satisfied by the bulk papers provided should be broken. And micro-level organizations should be contacted with a tight scrutiny of how the funds are used. So these are my suggestions. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Before we go on, I would like to ask the time. How much more minutes do we have before we go to the questions of the public? Now we have this system where you guys can actually ask the girls that sit here questions. So you have to go to slido.com on your phone, and then you enter, I think it is the hashtag WRM, and then your questions will be shown on the screen here, and some questions will be selected, and we can ask them to the women that sit right here. So please do that now, and then we can see them right here. Sorry? No, you don't. You can just take out your phone and then go to slido.com on your phone and enter the hashtag that's seen left side of the screen, and then you can participate. Okay. You guys, I will now give you the chance to ask a question. I would like to ask you to keep it brief. So no personal stories. It's about the women that sit right here. So please just a question so that they can answer. So show me your hands. Who has a question right now?
Good afternoon. I am Bikash Chaudhary. I represent here one diaspora organizations. We call it European Bangladesh Forum. From this forum, we have been also organizing events like minority rights, human rights, and on 23rd March, we are also organizing another program on genocide in 1971 in Bangladesh by the Pakistani army. So my question to both of you from this Beluch and the Sindh, we are also working with them in United Nations. Are you in touch with this UNHCR? Whether you have had any meeting with them, because they are the right authority to focus this area and to address these issues. That's my point. Thank you.
Hello. Every year we participate in Human Rights Council in UN, and I previously mentioned that we have been submitting a lot of data to UN and special rapporteur. I'm not going to be shy, but I will bluntly say that Pakistan is very powerful in UN. I am afraid when we put there any resolutions, we are from the stage, if you talk, especially for Sindhis and Baloch. I'm not going to talk about other issues, but if the issues are belonging from Sindh or Balochistan or their minorities from the Sindh, we are wiped out. It's a really hard life in UN as well, and hence I'm in Europe as well, just to see that what we have. I also want to just to emphasize that Pakistan in UN has got an added advantage because they do represent OIC as well. So the 14 other countries also support Pakistan. It's a long struggle. And I know while I have got a mic, I could just a couple of things I add to the suggestions which my sisters mentioned. I think we need to look at these things, the whole violence and discrimination. What are the root causes? I think the root causes, I will be bluntly say, the fundamental basis of Pakistan creation and its constitution is very biased. There's no question about it. No matter how much we will try, we will not be able to change because Pakistan as it is. Secondly, the involvement of Saudi Arabia, we must mention here. Nobody has mentioned here. Can I just give you figures that in 1950s or late 50s, we had 244 madrasas. Today we have more than 20,000 madrasas in Pakistan, especially the area I come from, which is the desert, the desert which has got borders with India. And of course, this is where my Hindu Sindhi brothers are majorly based. Every village has got an air-conditioned madrasa. And my people are living in the 50-degree heat in a thatch roof. So that's what's the reality of this land is. So I think we need to look at it, that how much, yet again, Imran Khan got more funding from Saudi. And I really think that I'm surprised that Europe has quiet about this whole issue, that this aid which is gone again to Pakistan through the Imran Khan, and Europe didn't support it, or IMF, it's going to counterproductive. It's going to raise, again, violence against minority and their oppressed nations. So that's one thing. Secondly, I don't think so the blasphemy law should be reviewed. I think blasphemy law should be abolished. Absolutely. We are living in 21st century. We don't need that sort of law which create human difference.
That's it. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. I think I see a question on the screen for you, especially in relation to what do you think that the young people could do to engage and facilitate a change in the human rights situation?
I think we young girls, especially girls, I will say, we are a lot on social media. Everyone has Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and I feel like I don't have much knowledge, but I'm spiritually connected to Pakistan and the Christians, what's happening there, because my family lives there. But I feel like if we can work with women like this, we can bring it out on social media. We can bring it, like, we can get bigger and bigger, and it can bring a change, or, you know, to the government and everything. Yes, and I feel like if we young girls or young boys also, if we make a little step just by posting a picture with a story on Instagram or Facebook or Snapchat, people will see it. Because it always goes everywhere. A little video will go so viral, and I feel like if we do something like this, people will see it in Pakistan, in India, Afghanistan, or Bangladesh, or everywhere, and we can get bigger, I think.
Great, thank you so much. Yeah. I see my colleagues here holding a microphone. Okay, we have 10 minutes left. My colleague over there has a microphone. Are people still having questions right here? Sorry. It's not on? It is.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to try to do in Dutch and English, as there are people who don't understand English properly. In Pakistan vinden mensenrechten plaats sinds de onafhankelijkheid van Pakistan. In Pakistan, there are taking human rights abuses place since the independence of that country in 1947. The human rights violations are, you cannot imagine, forced conversions, like they mentioned, targeted killing. Wij praten over mensenrechten schendingen van gedwongen bekeringen. Minderheden die getarget worden en vermoord worden. Minderheden die grond hebben, die onteigend worden. Land grabbing is taking place. We are talking about minor girls. Minderheden meisjes die jonger zijn dan 18 jaar, die ontvoerd worden en gedwongen bekeerd worden in dagen. We are talking about minor girls beneath the age of 18 that are forcefully kidnapped. Within days they are being converted to to Muslims. And it's not something that is happening for a few years, it's happening for decades. And you said there is international attention needed. How much international attention is needed for a country where for decades this kind of human rights abuses are happening? There are organizations working. You are in contact with human rights, with UNCHR. GHRD is in touch with them. What do they need? What kind of attention do they need? Whole generations are gone, and it's taking place. It's not something that we are not aware of. All those abuses are not something that we don't know. Het zijn mensenrechten schendingen waarvan wij niet bekend zijn. Iedereen weet het. Mensen praten erover. Er zijn mensen die al jaren aan het lobbyen zijn. What do they need more?
Thank you for speaking our hearts. But I think I offered a practical solution to that, which would involve European help in bringing us. You see, it's not only discrimination. What encourages people to discriminate against the weaker stratas or weaker people of a society is a litmus test of that society. So if a society is green or good, then the weaker communities and weaker stratas of societies would be supported. If that is, on the contrary, then they would be they would be suppressed. So this is what's happening in Pakistan, but the reason is not only discrimination. The reason is also this, that the schools and hospitals built by the missionaries that accommodated a lot of minority students and people for work, they were nationalized, and now we do not have the infrastructure. So we need to grow in economic and educational sector as well to really compete with the changing world. Now in Pakistan, what's happening that the sweeping jobs are advertised saying only non-Muslims can apply for these, and that is denying their citizen rights because they are being put in a box that only these people can do the sweeping job and not the Muslims. So you are drawing a line right there. So I would say to help us, there should be probably a forum settled where internet is a good thing that we can connect. And you said, yes, in Pakistan it has been happening since 1947. However, the first story that got international attention was in 2009 of Gojra. But before that, Shantinagar, a whole village was burned. Nobody knew about that because when people started to break the story, the Pakistani media suppressed it and the news was not out. So now when we are linked with the internet, first thing we need from you is to help us break the stories. As the lady over said, use Instagram, use the social media. Secondly, there should be a forum where people through internet can submit their ideas if they have an idea. For example, there is a Hindu boy who wants to change the financial situation of his family, and he has an idea, but he doesn't have the money to support it. Then what he can do, that he can submit that idea. If that is substantial and you see, and there could be a committee who could see, then that idea could be funded. There could be training opportunities for people from the minority communities to come here, get training, get exposure, live here one month, and you give them a lot of dreams to be able to come back to this country, or maybe create that country in Pakistan where everyone is equal and everyone is valued. So these are the ways, these are the practical and very calculated ways where you can help us. So that's what I requested, creating a forum where people from the minority communities could present their business ideas or other ideas that could change. There could be a committee in Europe who can assess those ideas and then choose a few people to be the catalyst of change.
Thank you very much. I'm happy we're currently as well creating awareness, so hopefully this could be carried around by more people right now. I think we have 4 minutes left, so I think I would like to ask you guys one more question, and that is, why don't we hear so much about Pakistan in the current media? Like, I think here in the Netherlands, not many people are aware of what is happening. Do you have an idea why this is the case?
Well, first of all, there's quite a detailed answer. Whenever special rapporteurs from UN, they just go straight to the Islamabad. They are not allowed to go to wider Pakistan. So there's a really restriction. Media is totally bought by government. So that's one of the reasons. When I have got a mic, I will address one of the questions. I think we have a traditional way of treating the symptoms. So let's work with Pakistani state, let's do that. I appreciate that. This is a temporary fix. We got to think about a sustainable option, a fundamental root cause. The root cause is, the nations are not built on the religion. Pakistan is based on the religion. That is a fundamental flaw. And this country, which is based on the name of the one religion, how can we expect equality and the rights of minorities or oppressed nations? I think the international community needs to really look at the countries cannot be made. Sindh is the original land, Balochistan is the original land, Punjab is the original land. Pakistan doesn't exist. Pakistan is a pseudo country, I'm afraid. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I want to all thank you so much for being here and speaking out. It's amazing to hear your story, and it should be heard, so thank you very much. I think now we go on to dinner, which is prepared for us. And in the meantime, some musicians will play some music. Okay. Yeah, okay. You want to say one more small thing? Yeah, please.
I want things like this to happen often, because I feel like when we do things like this often, we can get closer to each other, we can have connections, and we can bring it out. Especially me, I'm on social media, so I will bring it out on social media. People will see it often, not only once. So I would like to thank everyone. It's my first time, I tried my best, so thank you. Yeah, just put it on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, everywhere, and just, you know, get it viral.
Great, thank you so much. Thank you. We have a little present for you for being here. Thank you so much. Yes. Oh, one last remark. We have a photo booth where you can get your photos taken. So please go there to get your pictures taken. And put them on social media, of course, like we just said. Thank you so much. Enjoy dinner.